Monitoring portion sizes may seem like a minor tweak in the grand scheme of weight management, but when it comes to reducing visceral fat, the dangerous fat that accumulates around the organs, it plays a critical and often underestimated role. This type of fat is highly responsive to even small imbalances between caloric intake and energy expenditure, meaning that consistently eating just a little too much, even of healthy food, can contribute to its accumulation over time. By practicing portion control, you're not simply reducing total calories. You're supporting a hormonal and metabolic environment that discourages fat storage deep in the abdomen. Portion size awareness is especially important because modern food environments are engineered to override our internal hunger and fullness cues. Restaurant servings, ultra-processed snacks, and even packaged health foods are often several times larger than what the body actually needs, especially when energy requirements are modest. Without visual or behavioral guardrails, it becomes easy to consume more than intended, a pattern that silently drives the expansion of visceral fat deposits without obvious day-to-day changes in weight or appetite. Visceral fat is not just inert padding, it's metabolically active tissue that secretes inflammatory molecules, interferes with insulin signaling, and promotes further fat storage. Because of this, even modest overconsumption can lead to disproportionate increases in this specific fat type. Studies have shown that people with high visceral fat often don't appear significantly overweight on the scale, sometimes referred to as TOFI, thin outside, fat inside, making portion control relevant even for those with a normal body mass index, BMI. The subtlety of this risk reinforces the need for vigilance over not just food quality, but quantity. One of the most effective strategies for controlling portion sizes is using smaller plates and bowls, which has been shown to significantly reduce the amount of food people serve themselves without them feeling deprived. This optical illusion, known as the Delboeuf effect, tricks the brain into perceiving a smaller portion as more satisfying when it fills the entire dish. Likewise, avoiding eating directly from large containers or bags helps prevent mindless overconsumption. Pre-portioning snacks or meals, eating from a plate instead of a package, and sitting down to eat, rather than grazing while distracted, all contribute to more intentional eating patterns. Mindful eating is another layer of portion control that targets not just how much you eat, but how you experience the act of eating. By slowing down, chewing thoroughly, savoring flavors, and paying attention to hunger and satiety signals, you give your brain enough time to register fullness before you've eaten too much. The brain's satiety signals typically lag behind actual food intake by about 15 to 20 minutes, so slowing the pace of a meal can meaningfully reduce the total quantity consumed. This is especially important in our current food culture, where meals are often rushed, multitasked, or consumed under emotional stress, all factors that promote overeating. Portion control also supports better blood sugar regulation, which is a key lever in visceral fat reduction. Overeating, particularly meals high in refined carbs or sugar, leads to larger blood glucose spikes, which in turn trigger more insulin release. Chronically elevated insulin levels signal the body to store more fat, especially in the abdominal cavity. Smaller, balanced meals help keep insulin levels more stable throughout the day, reducing the body's drive to store energy as visceral fat and improving long-term metabolic function. The benefits of portion control compound over time. Unlike crash diets or extreme restrictions that disrupt hormone balance and often backfire, steady moderation helps recalibrate your natural appetite cues, improve digestion, and normalize meal patterns, all of which support sustainable fat loss from around the organs. It also prevents the common pitfall of healthy food overeating, where people eat excess amounts of calorie-dense items like nuts, avocados, or whole grains under the assumption that they're always beneficial. While these foods are indeed nutrient-rich, they're still energy-dense, and without portion awareness, they can silently contribute to visceral fat gain. It's worth noting that portion control does not mean undereating or becoming obsessed with measuring every bite. The goal is to find a natural stopping point, one that leaves you satisfied but not stuffed, energized but not sluggish. Over time, many people find that their sense of fullness becomes more reliable and easier to trust, especially when combined with nutrient-dense foods that naturally promote satiety, such as lean proteins, vegetables, and fiber-rich whole grains. In summary, monitoring portion sizes is a low-effort, high-impact strategy for reducing visceral fat that enhances almost every other health behavior, from better blood sugar control to improved digestion and hormone regulation. It requires no special equipment, supplements, or rigid rules, just a willingness to be a little more aware, a little more intentional, and a little more respectful of your body's true needs. In doing so, you reduce the likelihood of overfeeding the most dangerous kind of fat and build a foundation for lasting, organ-protective health.